Trim a little volume there. How about a little Friday? Happy Friday to you back on the patio as we come your way here on a virtual happy hour. Glad you're along. Let's roll the open. How about it in 3, 2, 1? Another show is rolling your way. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Actually, I realized that I haven't even, this is going to be funny. Actually, a couple things here. First off, I didn't realize that I didn't change the graphic from last night. So actually, I want to see if I'm actually on. That'd be, yeah, there's that. Here, you'll know that I'm not prepared. Well, I'm prepared, but you know that things are amiss when this pops up. That's not supposed to be on there. We're not actually. That's not the show, and I thought I had changed that, but apparently I haven't. So all good. So let me just actually while we're talking here, I'm going to take. I again. This is from last night's show. Welcome to virtual happy hour or whatever you want to call it. I'm actually going to leave the baseball up there and add a couple of little odds and ends to the screen. But I realized when I clicked this on, I was like, oh, I got about 10 seconds left. Let's click. I put it on there, and I'm like, wait, oops, we don't have. We're in red. So let me. All right, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. I could have sworn I did this color change last night, but maybe I didn't. So all good. Here we go. There we go. Well, actually, we got to do this now. There we go. There we go. Okay. All that out of the way there. Glad you guys are along on your Friday. And standing by in the wings, we're going to bring her on in just a moment. A couple of things coming up on the show. First off, I'm going to try to give you a quick tour of the Cotton Court Hotel. I'm also going to taste test some beer in a few minutes. WD-40, I'm sure she's lurking in the wings. She'll be helping me out. She doesn't even know this yet because she's going to be the beer delivery person at some point. But we're not going to do that just quite yet. We're going to go to Indiana and go and check out and see what's going on with Mom. Let's check her out. She's coming on right now. There we go. Well, now you're in the dark, Mom. I'm not sure what happened. You're in the dark, but I'm not sure why you're not on the video, Mom. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't see. I can't see you. I can't see you. So why don't you log on again, Mom? Let's try that. I don't know what happened there. I'm trying to. Hold on. I'm gonna try it again. Let's see if you'll come back in. No. There we go. There we go, Mom. There we go. Let's do it one more time here for you.
My internet has been so slow the last 2 days. I don't know what's going on.
Well, playing your jam right there for you. There we go. I think our internet's pretty good here. I don't know 100% sure, but I get to see Lane out there as well. Needs to say welcome to. Oh, did I say just welcome thee? I probably, yeah. Welcome to, what? Welcome to virtual, what? What is she talking about? Welcome to, oh, you want me to capitalize the T-O? Is that what you're saying, honey? Okay, she's nitpicking the English. Is that what you want me to do? I'm not really sure what she's talking about. Anyway, glad you guys are along. Mom, what's going on with you? What's going up there in Indiana today?
Oh, not much. Like I say, my internet is just slow. It's never been this slow. I got a new modem on Tuesday. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you fine.
Okay, good. And then my computer guru came and brought me a hard drive, an extra hard drive, and ever since then it's been really, really slow. So I don't know what's going on. And when I listened to your broadcast last night, it kept, the little spiral that goes around, when you don't get to, and then it would go back. It was terrible. And so I don't know what's going on, but anyway, uh, well, Declan FaceTimed me while I was on the phone with a tech person for the remote control for the TV. All kinds of tech
Well,
problems at this
you need to let
household.
us know who
And
Declan is. You just can't throw a name out there to the world and not tell us who that
well,
is, Mom.
Declan, your nephew, Declan, your almost 7-year-old nephew, he FaceTimed me, and he FaceTimed the whole family. But uh, about an hour later, but I don't know if he got everybody's. Sam didn't answer, you didn't answer, but Chris and Annie got answered, and I answered. And what a stitch that was. He has his own email address too.
Huh.
So it was crazy. It got Annie had some nasal surgery yesterday, so she was kind of wonky. And then got to visit with Michelle and Joel, and well, the kids don't stand still very long. So anyway, just been sitting at the house since Wednesday. So there you go. Just living the dream. Bored to tears. So there you go.
There you go.
So how are you?
Oh, I just was told that I apparently made a mistake on my other show last night. I was just letting my wife know that I appreciate that. I will spend the better part of the evening fixing Talking Baseball Australia Live. I didn't realize that I totally botched that last night. So apparently I've already put out a couple of one call the pin, and it's going to be wrong. So I got to go back and do all that, fix all that stuff. So all good. Nothing more than just being careless. No, just careless errors. What she was telling me was that the script, the scroll was wrong, and I did not realize that, and I was in a hurry. What happened was last night, we went spring forward, fall back. We fall back last weekend, and I'm sitting there kind of kicking it. I got about an hour to go, I think, until the show starts, and Paul texts me saying, "Hey, I can't find my earbuds. I'll be with you in a minute." I'm like, well, he's got another hour or so to get there, and so I realized, oh wait, we had daylight savings time kick in, and I didn't account for that. So I'm scrambling around to get us on the air last night, and he had to. It worked out. We were about 25 minutes late, but I'm guessing in my hurry up offense, I must have left out something. So anyway, but all good. I'll fix it in somehow, some way. So all good. But so it was. What are you doing, Mom? Just drinking a wine, or?
Yeah, wine in my fall wine glass.
All right. Well, it looks like everybody's checking in out there, and I'm glad they're along. I actually had a little hoodie on, but I got a little warm out here, and my wife even made a comment earlier. She goes, "Are you dressing for winter?" And I was like, I kind of thought it'd be a little cooler out here. And I got at her and said, "You know what? She's probably right." So I took the hoodie off. It's a comfortable 70. Let's see here. 74 right now. How about that?
Yeah. Well, it was about 71 here today. I don't know. I only went outside to get the mail. So there you go. Well, I'll get on the other side because I don't even see you. Now, I usually see you on the screen, but I don't see you. So I'll get on the other side. I know it's my wonky computer, my wonky internet. I do not know what's going on. Love you.
Love you too, Bob. Thanks a lot. There goes Mom. She checks in from Indiana. I appreciate her time there, and glad you guys are along. Couple of things. First off, let me bring that down and bring this up. Again, I mentioned on the show, going to check out, by the way, good morning there in Australia. We're going to check out the Cotton Court Hotel in Lubbock as well, the back end of the show. The back end. We'll probably do that first. And then I'm going to do, it's my Friday. I made a stop today on the way back from school. I stopped off at, can't see a schedule for baseball here in Australia. Harold, I believe, I don't believe it's, well, you can see the heat schedule, Harold. I believe the heat fixture's out. It's out. I mean, I know that's all out. I can probably find you a link to it real quickly here if I can. but the entire league, I don't believe the entire league schedules out. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Harold, the Australian conference is out. They mentioned goes the Heat start the 18th of December there at the baseball park in Thornley, but the rest of the league, well, Sydney, Melbourne, and Canberra all have fixtures in place. It's the International Conference, which is the Auckland, Tuatara, Geelong, Korea, Brisbane, and Adelaide. Those are still a bit in flux. I believe the 12th, which is the next Thursday, Harold, you're going to see that announcement come out, I believe. But let me see if I can find you the link to this fixture here, Harold. Let's see. I believe, yeah, it's up. Here it is. I'm actually going to give you the link here, Harold, and I'll just send this to you in the message. You can take that and go to this, go to the website. But that's the fixture up right now. So there you go. Right there. But yes, it's up. So it's not Perth Harley-Davidson Ballpark anymore, too, Jim. Paul and I sort of discussed that a couple of weeks ago. I didn't even know that. It kind of caught me by surprise, but it's just now the baseball park in Thornley, I believe. There's no naming rights right now. I don't know what happened exactly, but no, it's a very interesting. Paul actually mentioned kind of talked about that, I think, 2 weeks ago on Talking Baseball Australia Live. We do on Thursday night and then Friday morning in North America. But I mean, Friday morning in Australia, Thursday night North America. A lot of really moving parts there in that show. A lot going on. They've got here's the deal. It's part of the schedule's done for part of the league, Harold, and part of the schedule's not. They've got to kind of be flexible because there's some talk maybe a couple of teams don't play. If they go to 6, they'll have to shuffle the schedule around a little bit. So that's kind of what's going on there. You bet. So, all right, a couple of things else, items too. I had this observation. Dan Von Field would be, I wouldn't be able to pay any naming rights. I wouldn't be able to pay anything to him, and I don't think they'd want that name on their field. But maybe one day when I'm buried and gone, perhaps. But I don't know if that'll be the case. One little quick observation. I'm not going to get on the election too much. I don't want to get too tied down because it's depressing to me for a lot of reasons. As I touched on Wednesday. But it wasn't just me. Today I was teaching, substitute teaching today, and I had a bit of a full schedule today of mostly, I guess the oldest kid I had would be a senior, and the youngest I had was 8th grade. I was in Spanish class, and there was a mixture of ages coming through. Yeah, Harold, you're too kind. Both you and my wife are too kind. This little observation, one little observation that I had today, and it was that, well, you didn't have to bring the whole thing. I was going to have you just bring one, but okay.
You know which one you wanted.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a moment. Yeah, well, I was going to let you surprise me, but that's all good. No. It's.
I was going to go.
I can just grab one right now because you got them out here. They're cold up now. They're still cold, but this way they're not warmed up or anything. If they're right there. So you're gonna walk the dog and you'll be back, correct? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, I can't walk him like to Timbuktu.
She's being snarky there. This observation today, and this was really interesting. Had a group of 8th grade kids in the not the final period, but the period right after the lunch, I believe. And they were debating the election. And there was some bullying going on. There were some conservative kids. Well, I shouldn't say conservative. They're all conservative kids at a private school. But they were going back and forth in the merits of both candidates and the odds and ends. And I just stopped and said, look, none of you guys know what you're talking about, first of all. And second of all, I gave them the speech that I kind of gave you guys on Wednesday that, hey, this is not unity. The job is not for you to dogpile on the person that likes this person and vice versa. In this case, it was the guys losing dogpiling on the one that was winning, which is probably not surprising in Texas, and especially in the suburbs where you're probably young kids probably more on the one side than the other. But I was like, that's not unity. That's not what we should be doing. You guys want to debate it back and forth? That's good, but don't be talking smack back and forth and bullying up on the person that voted the other one. And that's what I threw out to them today. Unfortunately, I wish that was going on social media because I can't even post a Twitter update for the T-Bones without being bombarded with nonsense and people that used to cover baseball now basically calling people out. So anyway, not about that, but I thought it was interesting just that the kids are even involved in this thing, which is, eighth graders. Anyway, okay, let's do this because I want to have a cold beer when I go to the next segment, or the two segments down the road. So let's go to this. I mentioned I was going to start something on the weekends, on Fridays. I'm inspired a bit by a fraternity brother of mine. Mike Obert does a great YouTube channel where he it's a short little ditty about I think about a 4 or 5 minute deal he does where he basically, it's called Mike's Mixology. And I've kind of toyed with this idea before, but I don't want to steal his thunder because I don't want to sit there. I'm not a real big drink maker. I'm not that guy that can mix cocktails. Mike was my first roommate at school. Phenomenal guy. Love the guy to death. But he's doing a really cool little deal. He's doing it at a place called Poor Melvin's over in Irving. It's a cousin of another fraternity brother of ours from Tech. Anyway, long and the short of it is he had another fraternity brother of mine, Jimmy Nolan, on today, and they were doing it's a short 4 or 5 minute deal. They basically, all they do is they make a drink that they've never made before, and that's all they do. It's the bit. And I was kind of inspired. There's the lone mosquito's back. I was kind of inspired by that, thinking, you know what? I do like my whiskey, and I guess I could do a whiskey-only kind of deal, a taste test. I'm not a big wine guy. I do like my adult beverages on the beer side, though, beer and whiskey. So I decided that I would kind of, and I've told you guys the last few weeks, as I've given you some ideas of the Martin Brewery in Fort Worth, what they've been doing. And so I grabbed a 6-pack today of random beers that, and made my own little homemade 6-pack. And a couple of them are ones I've had, a couple of them I want to try, and they're all from that. Remember, I told you guys there's a deep fried Oreo beer. The Buffalo Wing beer I couldn't find. I'm trying to find the Buffalo Wing beer over in Fort Worth. You had to actually go to the brewery in Fort Worth to get it. There's Sammy Cannelli. Good to see you, brother, over there in Australia, and Lord Trimble as well. Trimble Green. Sorry about that. You were Trimble back in the high school days, but good to see Billy Boss out there as well. I don't have the Buffalo Wings beer because it's not a Buffalo Wings beer today, but there's some interesting flavors out there, and I'm going to try one here for you guys. And you're at Virtual Happy Hour, but first off, I got to do a little of this because I thought, you know what, production value is all about what makes these things fly. You guys want production value? I've got production value for you. Here we go, a little production value. There we go. I'll bring that down for you guys. Okay. It's DV's beer review. It was my own little German. I need some lederhosen and a little hat. I am German, so I could kind of do that. Okay. I have a 6 here from local beer shop. No, I've got local bottle shop, beer shop, whatever to call it. There's 5 more, but I grabbed one of the different varieties, and most of these that I'll be doing the next couple of weeks as we kind of move along here are going to be Texas or Southwestern beers, probably. So a couple of these are Oklahoma beers that are in my little, I actually got 2 Oklahoma beers, 4 Texas beers. This is a Martin House Brewing. This is the same one that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, the sour pickle beer that I have in the fridge, which is really good. Man, I may have one of those for round number 2, which is basically, it's beer that tastes like pickle juice. It's very, very good. I know it sounds terrible, but on a warm day, it's pretty good. Now, this one here, I am going to give you guys, I'm going to bring this down so you guys can see this here in the beer review. It's Sweet Apples is what it's called. And this is not a cider. It's just not a cider. It's a beer. It's brewed and canned by the Martin House Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Give you guys a shot of it there. Sweet Apples. It's a red apple sour with caramel and lactose. That didn't sound good. I don't know. When I put this in my little 6er, I thought, the caramel sounds good, but the lactose sounds terrible. I just don't like that word. It's one of those words I just don't like. But here's the shot of the can. You can see it there. Sweet apples. There it is, and it's got a kind of a cool can. The can looks like something out of a maybe a '60s acid trip, perhaps. I don't know. It's maybe Austin Powers, something like that. But we are bitter. Yes, you mean bitter beer? Yes. Bitter beers. And I'm gonna give a couple comments here. Good to see Melody out there as well. Let's see here. GM says, you mean bitter beers? Yes. Harold says, let's see what Harold says. I did 5 Saturday nights at local October. Yes. So you did a little Oktoberfest beer work. There you go. So you played the band. You done the whole what's that music called? Is it German Opa music? Is it polka? It's not polka. That's not that. Is it? Well, anyway, enough of that. All right, here we go. This is again, we're going to open this up in a moment. It's, I'm trying for 5.2% alcohol by volume there. So you guys see that? Here we go. All right, let's open this bad boy up. Oh, actually, this smells pretty good. It actually kind of smells a little bit like, did you ever go bobbing for apples or caramel covered apples? You ever done that? It has a bit of a caramel. Well, makes sense. It's apple and caramel. It has a smell of crumbled apples. Who would have thought? Let's try it. I can taste the caramel. Now it's a little sour, and it's definitely got a little bit of a lighter ciderish taste to it, but it's definitely sour. But that first taste is caramel. It's a real caramel taste, a little sweet taste, and then that little apple hits you with this kind of sour apple. And actually, I believe I saw this. There was actually a 6-pack of this. They actually have a sweet apple get 3 sweet apples and 3 sour apples. I didn't get a sour apple caramel beer because they didn't have singles of it, but I would probably go back and buy a 6er and try the both of them together. It's not nearly as sour as the key lime I had last weekend, which, by the way, I've got a key lime in the arsenal here for you guys too. We'll taste that probably in another week or so. Opa, there we go. Yes, German stock, Harold. But I don't speak it. I don't wear the lederhosen, but I probably should. If I'm going to drink, but of course, drinking this kind of beer probably gives away my German, probably revokes my German heritage right there. Because isn't German beer supposed to be really, really hearty? I mean, it's supposed to be. GM says she's not liking it, but she hasn't tried it. I'll have to save a little bit of this for her. The pickle beer that I had is sour the whole time. It's sour. That pickle beer is sour. This one though, it does have a sour taste to it, but you can still get that initial sweetness, and then it goes to sour. You're not totally bombarded by the sour. It reminds me a bit of that. I think I talked about this when Kevin Luca was on a while back about the sour berry beer I had up in the Twin Cities 2 summers ago. This is very similar to that. Very similar, but a little sweeter. A little sweeter. Anyway, that's the craziest beer you guys ever had. I mean, they're doing these things now, but yeah, I love the little apple guy. He's kind of cool. So red apple sour with caramel and lactose. I'm not sure what the lactose is. Austrian, Harold. Harold, I saw today too that you were. Harold is a music aficionado, and he knows his music. And Harold, by the way, get me some pretzels. Harold can play the drums too. He is a rockin' drummer. Sorry about that, folks. Some Snyder's. This will be good to go with it. A little Snyder's from Hanover here. Oops. There we go. Little minis, and that'll really I think that'll help bring out the taste as well. Really good. So there you go, folks. It's Dan's beer review, and I gotta say, I don't think the sour apple beer will be my thing, although I'm sure I would drink it. I mean, it won't be terrible, but I actually like the sweet yet sour taste to it. It's not completely sour. It does give you a little sweet, boom, a little sugary taste, and boom goes into the apple sour. I like that. Craziest beer, something not light. There you go. Yeah. Not a. My wife's gotten into the whole. What's it called? The Corona. It's the Ultras. It's the Corona version of the Ultra. Corona, Mega Corona, something, I don't know. By the way, I'll give you a Corona story. Again, it smells sweet, a little bit of tang to it. It tastes sweet, and then the tang kicks in. It's not, a lot of times you have a beer, a shandy type beer that's got some sour to it. It goes sour right away, or at least tastes right away sour. This one starts a little sweet, a little kick of sweetness, and boom, goes in that caramel sweetness, apple. It's almost as if you taste the caramel. Think of it like a I don't know, a gumball maybe, or a something like that, a gobstopper if you were a kid, where you kind of have that initial taste that's sweet. Then you roll your tongue on it, and it goes to the sweet, a little bit of caramel, then boom, the apple, then boom, the sour, all in one little right there. So there it is. Oh, Premier. Premier is the name of the beer. Ultra beer, and Ultra, Corona's new beer. And there you go, folks. That is it. That is the one and only first ever. And I'm going to do some reading because I don't reading. Like I've never read before, which is probably true, but I have to read up on some of the words I guess I should use words like palate and the tip of the tongue and let it breathe. And I probably need to get a Pilsner glass too. I notice they're all in cans. I do like bottled beers better, but a lot of these are in cans as well, these little limited runs. So there it is, folks. There's a DB's beer review right there. Our first ever on a Friday. Kind of ends abruptly, doesn't it? Right there. There you go. DB's beer review. Oh, I'll have some fun with that. Actually, I'm working on my wife's intro too. I'm working on one of those, but I'm really spicing hers up. I'm really going to make hers look very Hollywood-esque. So, all right. So we know I'm going to save her, but I want someone another beverage, but I want at least to try it if she wants to. Okay. I mentioned we went to Lubbock last weekend. Love boutique hotels. Nothing wrong with the Holiday Inn or the Hojo or the Ramada. I love the Hilton brand. I love Hiltons in general. Well, actually, our place to stay in Belize is a Hilton, one of their curio properties, one of their nice boutique brand. We like those kind of places. I do, and I think my wife does too. Something different. I discovered a few years ago in San Francisco boutique hotels, and ever since then I've tried to stay in those. Even in Vegas over the years, stayed at the old MGM. MGM had some boutique rooms at one time. I would stay there. The old tower at Caesars has kind of become that way. Of course, it's harder in Vegas, but there are some trendy places like that in Vegas. Most cities have got them. Well, we stay in Lincoln with the T-Bones at a really cool place called The Graduate. And The Graduate, the room keys, the little electronic room keys, are like a student ID because it's right there next to the University of Nebraska. And the student ID has got, or the key has got famous Nebraska alums. Johnny Carson, for one. The guy who invented Kool-Aid, another. There's several of them on there. And what you do, you get your room key and you got your student ID and you go into your room. It's very collegiate. It looks like an old 1960s, 50s dorm. They got little pennants on the wall. When you, instead of putting the do not disturb sign out, it's a pennant that you hang on your door. It says, studying or whatever. And I'll have to find the pictures for you, but there's actually one of the coolest things about this place. They took an old TV, an old Zenith, and took the tube out, the actual part of the TV out, but left the wood and the dial and the legs, and they turned it into a bedside table. And it's really cool. That place just has a really cool vibe to it. So I love places like that. Well, the Cotton Court is a lot like that. Let me go to my pictures here. Sorry about that. I've probably been babbling, and I should have done this, pull this up. But the Cotton Court is very similar to what we're talking about as far as cool hotel vibes. And let me just start you with the lobby. This is a shot of the lobby here. I'm going to bring this up here in Virtual Happy. I'm going to bring this down, and so we can see this a little better. But we're glad you guys are along, checking in. And let's bring this down. Let's try it again. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Bring this up. This is the lobby. You can kind of see very Texas. I'm going to bring this up for you guys. Very Texas, as you can see. You got the fireplace with the horns. You know, it's very, very Cadillac Ranch kind of thing. Very, very Texas. My mom says she stayed at the Graduate in Bloomington, Indiana, when Chris and Bennett were up. Yeah, it was really cool. That Graduate brand, they've got them in college towns. I mean, they've got one by SMU. They got it by college campuses. It's really cool. They try to make the theme very collegiate. This place is very old school West Texas-ish, kind of maybe giant alpine kind of stuff. Let's make sure. Oh, there we go. That's a shot of me in the lobby there, but you really can't tell from. When you look back, that's actually an outside shot of the lobby. There we go. There's more of the roof right there, and the cattle there. This is the outside. Cotton Court. Here comes the dog. By the way, honey, come here. Try this. If you let me know if you like this, real quick. I saved it for a little shot for you. Not a little shot, but give it a shot here.
I'm supposed to see
Well,
if I like it.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you will, but it's not terrible. I like it. It's got a little sweet caramel taste and goes to sour. It's not like that key lime that was totally sour.
That's not horrible. I don't know if I could drink a whole can of it though.
I wonder what the sour apple one is of that. But anyway, yes.
That would be really sour.
Yes, but yeah, not terrible. So anyway, yeah, you'll be back with us in a moment when she as I get through this little deal here. And okay, we're this is the outside. This is cool. This is the restaurant of the hotel. It's called the Midnight Shift. It took me a while to realize why it was called the Midnight Shift, their logo, and you really can't tell it. But Harold, you may know this song. The Midnight Shift is an old Buddy Holly song. Of course, Buddy Holly is from Lubbock, grew up just a mere few blocks from there, went to high school a few blocks from there as well at Lubbock High. But the Midnight Shift and the actual logo, and I don't think you can see it there. The tree may be covering it up, but it's a crescent moon with Buddy Holly glasses, and the Midnight Shift was a Buddy Holly B-side for the great Buddy Holly from Lubbock, Texas. Let's see here. I think I'm going the right way. There we go. Midnight Shift. There we go. That's the restaurant. I'm going to give you guys some shot of the restaurant in a moment. There's the outside. It just looks generic. This is a new building. I thought originally it was going to be an old building. This is the new building. There we go. There we are before the game right there. My new purchase. Wear my Texas Tech baseball jersey. It's the only sport besides basketball they're any good in. There's the lovely wife on. This is a really cool place, and I'm going to give you guys a little more shot around. Oh, that's the wrong way. Sorry. Back this way. Talk about this. There we go. There's the Cotton. This is the logo of the hotel. I'm going to get to the room, how cool the room is here in just a moment. But there we go. This is the lobby as well. And you're seeing the little artifacts. See in the middle of your screen toward the bottom, below that checkerboard, left of that checkerboard, are those little, they're glass, look like upside down glasses, right? What those are, what used to go on top of the telephone poles in that part of the country. They're little, I'm not sure what the word for it is, but they're little, and my grandmother had a couple of them. My mom, I think, we may have had some in the house in Dallas, but they would, oftentimes I'd replace the telephone poles. Folks would buy those little glass covers that would cover parts of where the lines connected on top of the telephone poles. And that's what they would, those little glass deals right there. There's more of the lobby. I'm gonna get the room here in a moment, I promise. Okay, here's the tile. This is really cool. Cotton Court tile, old school tile, and that is not a that's not a one piece of tile. That is actually And every room's like this, apparently. They're all done, customized like that. And that's the old school little, what do you call those, octagon tiles and the little pieces. And you can kind of see how small they are. Anyway, this is looking back into the bedroom. And I'll show you the bedroom, how cool it is. Shower, you could land a plane in the shower. Hold on, there we go. There's a look back into the tile. Now look at that really cool. You see that the sink, and you see that the mirror. You look at right above the sink, right above the right water handle. There's a little piece of soap. Well, that ledge is actually attached to the mirror. Is where you put your soap and your razor and your toothpaste. It's like almost like it's when I'll say it is waterproof, but it's a water type ledge that you can. That's what they want you. It says there's a place to put your soap there. It's really kind of cool. I can't even describe how cool it is, but anyway, pretty cool. There we go. There's the bed. Now look at this above the bed. See that electrical, whatever you want to call it? That's an old school woven electrical cord connecting both sides of the bed. There's a lamp there. And where that lamp is, there's a USB plug. I think there was 2 USB plugs, 2 normal plugs, and a light switch. And then it goes up and it connects, that wire connects to the same one across the room. And very cool. That bed looks like it's an old school dorm bed, ranch house bed, whatever. But actually, that bed's very, very comfortable. This is my favorite part of the whole thing. This, well, the room, babe, is the refrigerator. Now this is not. It looks vintage, right? Does that fridge look vintage to you? It looks vintage, like they just wheeled an old fridge that they bought from some couple that ice maker in it. It's a little small, but it's got all. It's when you get up close to it, and you touch it, you realize that it's actually brand new. It's not an old beat up fridge. There's the cotton bowls right there. That's also that quote from Buddy Holly, "You're so square, baby. I don't care." There's also a mural there on the wall that gives you the kind of the, I'll say the history, but I guess of the evolutional chain of cotton, how it goes about its business and grows there as well. And there is a shot of the room again across the way. A really cool big bay windows. Got a neat little love seat. And the carpet's cool. This is, sorry, I want to go. There you go. I want to show you guys. This is the hallway. Look at that carpet. Talk about a headache. That is cotton carpet. Of course, they got orange to match the carpet. I guess what they did was they grabbed whatever, they found this carpet and then said, okay, we're going to put this carpet down the hallways and we're going to match it with the paint, because I guarantee you they didn't come up with the paint first. The paint had to match this carpet. So very cool carpet there. As you can see that. A little better view of it right there. Going to see Jacob out there as well. Here in the virtual happy hour on a Friday. And there we go. This is actually back. That's the best made pickle beer. I want to show you guys this too while we're at it. The cotton cord. This was the cotton cord. These are actually, there's a key lime beer. I'm going to be reviewing that here in a couple of weeks, or probably next Friday maybe. I want to show you guys. This is actually that sandwich right there. What are you doing? Oh, she's over there. That's not a sandwich. That is actually a hot dog. That's a hot dog sandwich. That is at a place around the corner called Flippers, and that's mac and cheese with jalapenos in it, and it's got some kick. And that is a actual hot dog meets Reuben sandwich. It's got all the Reuben taste to it, but it's a hot dog. It doesn't look like it, but it's a hot dog. I don't know why I'm even giving you guys this, but there we go. There's another specialty hot dog in the place, Flippers. I don't know why I've been going here, but I'm just there's the Mac. But I want to show you guys something really cool in this whole stretch here, if I can get to. There we go. This is inside of Flippers. This is the pinball machines in there. And they've actually got tables. Wrong way. There we go. There's this is what I want to get back to. We got to the restaurant on Friday night, and I want to just bring myself back. Got the restaurant on Friday night. They were packed. And I thought they were joking when they said we just opened. I thought he meant they just opened tonight. Like that was like they opened like they were, because they said we had some problems on our computer. We just opened. So I thought he meant they just opened late that night. It turns out they opened for the first time ever at that midnight shift, and it was phenomenal. That's a ribeye, mashed potatoes, and I don't have pictures of everything, but I can tell you this: probably top 3 collard green I've ever had. top 3 Brussels sprout I've ever had.
Top color green.
My wife says top color green. She had fish tacos. They were so good they ordered another round. What else we had? Chips and queso.
Chicken drummies.
Chicken drummies, fried chicken drummies that were like fried chicken.
Yeah,
There are wings that were on steroids, right? That was the best way to say it. Let me see if I can get you one more shot of the steak. There's the mashed potatoes. This is at the midnight shift there at the hotel, but there we go. And see the steak cut in very little medium rare, which is very good. And this is back to beginning. I want to take you guys back this way real quick. There's a lot more to go, but anyway, I want to give you guys a little insight in the hotel. And I think I've got one more shot of. Well, no, this is okay. This is what I'm going to show you. See this right here? This is again at that restaurant Flippers around the corner from the hotel. That, if you look closely, let me put this on the screen for you. Is that cool or what? You're going, what the heck is it? That is actually a table. Those pinball tables, or I'm sorry, pinball. Yep, yes, they are pinball machines. Those are tables. If you look at that bench seating on both sides, that's 3 pinball tables turned into, or pinball machines, pardon me, turned into tables with a long bench seating. Isn't that cool? Let me show you one more here. That's on the wall there. Let me get you one more. I think I've got one more Flippers. There's my wife. There's her drink. There's my key lime. I guess I don't have it for you guys. I know you guys are bored to tears, but anyway, I think you can see it maybe. I thought I had a picture of it. You can see it right here. If you look closely, see the middle that's lit up. If you look to your right and left, that's actually a booth. That's actually a booth you sit in. You sit in that booth and you have your snacks and your beverages, and you've got a pinball table as your pinball machine as your table. I keep getting that wrong. So anyway, Cotton Court, and it's actually a bonus there. The Cotton Court and Flippers. Flippers is a cool little beer pub with boutique hot dogs that's around the corner about 2 blocks away on Broadway in Lubbock. And the Cotton Court Hotel. I thought I had more, but I guess I don't. I could have sworn I had more, but I guess I had some more, but I don't know where they went. But you guys get the gist. So anyway, I will try to give you guys more on on Monday. There's a couple of little videos I'll show for you as well, but I didn't get those out. I kind of thought I had those here, but let me see one more place if I do. Don't know. But anyway, good to see Brother Dean out there. Actually, yeah, okay, my bad. I do have a view. This is actually the view of, if I can get it here, this is actually the view of the courtyard of the hotel. Let me get this out there for you guys. Give me a moment. It's too big. Dang it. Okay, well, let me see if I can give you guys a photo of it. Here's a photo of it. I'll have to get the video for you guys on Monday. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not really prepared. I thought I was. You get a better. I have a video of this. That's the pool area there, but you can kind of see what you can't really see in this shot. But I want to get those shots for you. They've got the entire courtyard has got cornhole games. They've got little fireplace and chimeneas out there, so you can kick it out there, have a glass of wine or beer, and kind of keep cool, even on a bit of a chilly eve or whatever. So anyway, that's the Cotton Court there in Lubbock, in Hoke Dean as well. And I know, sorry, I thought I loaded more of the courtyard in there as well, but I guess I didn't. So all bad, all my fault there. But anyway, if you're in Lubbock, go check this place out. It's pretty cool. Cotton Court Hotel there in Lubbock, Texas, and it's really cool. They've got several of these boutique hotels like that around the state and around the nation. Let me see if I can give you one more shot. Here's a shot of the pool, I think. Maybe. Hopefully. And one more shot. Yeah, this is a really good, good. Oops, sorry. This is a really good shot of the pool area with you see that those people sitting there. They're around little fireplaces, one over behind them as well. Those tables have little fireplaces, little neat little areas to kind of kick it right there. So I can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about. I'll share the video on Monday. All right, there we go. So what have we done today? We've had a pretty good show so far, right? I mean, not too bad. We've had a beer review. We've had a little tour around Lubbock's Cotton Court Hotel. I mean, what else could you ask for on a Friday to but a little of that? Okay, what do you guys got? Anything else? Everybody else got something going on? Anything good? Good to see Michael out there, Jacob as well. It's your last call here. What do you guys got going on this weekend for us? Well, Cowboys plus 14. That's no chance there. Texas Tech at TCU. It's two bad teams playing together. That's about it for us. We're just going to be kicking it, having a good time here in the DFW and getting ready for next week. Isn't it amazing? You're already seeing the Christmas commercials, right? You guys are seeing those too? Thought about this yesterday. They recycle the same ones like for 3 years in a row, don't they? Pretty much. You guys notice that? For example, GMC, that's the same one. The guy comes home and he's got his and hers vehicles. But they've been running that commercial for like 3 years now, and they're the same vehicles. Was GMC not made a new model? I mean, it's a good spot, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. Quite a few gigs last week. Harold, how often a week do you play? How often a week are you playing? Where's my wife, by the way? GM, come here. I want you to join us. Quite a few. WD-40, where are you? WD-40, Bueller. She was sitting right here, then she left, and I thought she was coming back. But we got one more segment to go, and it's her. And 2 or 3 a month. Okay, that's not bad. You know, Harold, and I think I told you this years ago, I wish I was able to do that. I wish I was able to play an instrument and do that. I would love to be able to, on the weekends or whenever I had time, to kind of moonlight and then some kind of cover, even just a cover band for whatever. I think it's really cool that folks can do that. I think it's really cool. I mean, I think I'd be more relaxed, you know, playing some jams and just kicking it, you know. I love that. Harold's a good mate over there in Australia. Again, I don't know where WD-40 is. WD-40, are you coming? Are you here, babe? I don't know where she is. I'd love for her to join us. I want to get her thoughts on the weekend, but I can't sing. I guess I could do that. I always thought the guy that sang and didn't play an instrument was kind of lame, though. I mean, he might have got more chicks, but he was kind of lame because the real talent was the guy playing the drums or doing the bass. The bass guy was doing the bass thing, or the guitar guy. We just lost Eddie Van Halen, a couple weeks ago? I mean, you know, that's another funny story. I got 2 funny stories. Well, one funny story for you. I'm not trying to make fun of Eddie Van Halen because I love the guy. But the kids in the Spanish class are doing a project, a Day of the Dead project. What they're doing is they're making a simple presentation about the Day of the Dead, which is a big holiday in South America and Mexico. And they're doing a thing, and they have to come up with either a relative or a friend or a celebrity and most of them are doing celebrities. A lot of them are doing Kobe Bryant, tribute. Someone did their family member, did their dog, whatever, all that. But they were doing a Google search about celebrities that died, and one guy was going, "What's that guy that just died? It was James Bond?" And I'm like, "Well, it's Sean Connery." Yeah, Sean Connery. And then they were listing the folks that have passed away this year. They were going down the list, and I'm like, they're like, and one of them was, I can't remember what the first one was, but they were reading the list. He went Eddie Van Halen. I'm just kind of putting my head down like this going, your parents, I'm going to say your parents probably do. And then finally the guy said, who is that? I said, and I finally couldn't resist anymore. I said, ask your folks who that is, and ask them just like that. They'll get a chuckle out of that, because your folks, because I'm pretty much their folks are going to be, my age and younger, between, 50s down to the 40s. And they're going to know who Eddie Van Halen is. But it was funny because they were like, it was like, I think I told this story before. Just hold a guitar. Yeah, you go. So Harold, what I should do is maybe like I'll wear a sax around my neck, have a sax kind of dangling, and a guitar around my waist, like on my other shoulder, and just kind of sing with those two instruments. That's what I'll do, Harold. And it'll look like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's funny. I should do that. So yeah, it was funny to listen to those kids. I was just like, oh man. I had lots of train of thought, didn't I? I was going to tell you guys. Oh yeah. Well, anyway, I got a little kick out of that. Again, I'm not trying to make fun of the recent passing of Eddie Van Halen, because that dates me. But to have them go, and they're trying to figure it out. It says musician. This is also coming from a group of kids who all walk in with ear pods. Now, I did hear one kid was jamming, and I said, "What are you listening to?" He goes, "I'm listening to Tell Me Lies by Fleetwood Mac." And I'm going, "What?" I'm like, "Are you serious?" I mean, this kid's, ninth grader listening to Fleetwood Mac. I'm going, "Well, that's kind of cool." So I guess it's the same. Yeah, sax appeal. There you go, Harold. I guess the same as me back in the day when I was a kid that age, and I was listening to 50s music, like the American Graffiti soundtrack, and my folks were like, "Well, that's our jams," So anyway, or when I went to saw the Beach Boys at Old Arlington Stadium, and that was in the 80s. They'd been doing their business for like 30 years by then. I know where my wife went. Is she coming? Anyway, we're talking beer earlier, right? I'm going to tell this story. And I may have mentioned this. Corona is a huge deal now worldwide. Corona wasn't always a huge deal at all. Matter of fact, Corona used to be kind of a thing you'd only get spring break only if you went down to South Padre. You couldn't get Corona in Dallas-Fort Worth. You couldn't get it anywhere in the country unless you lived close to the border. You were, say, perhaps in San Diego, El Paso, the Texas Valley. You'd get it, but you weren't going to get Corona up in DFW or Chicago or New York or now overseas. You get Corona overseas now. You couldn't do it. Spring break, circa 86 or so, when the Outfield was big. Of course, they just lost one of their singers, a week or so ago. Outfield was big, that band. Corona was huge down at spring break in Padre. And the reason it was so big is because the factory was across the border from Brownsville, Harlingen, Brownsville, which is all right down there. Yes, Tony Roma's commercials for Corona are very funny. It's very, very, very funny. And I imagine Tony's had a Corona time or two, you'd think, maybe. I don't know. But we'd heard of Corona, but you couldn't get Corona unless you went down there. And the reason is because across the border, they made Corona in Mexico. The old Corona factories were right on the border there. And you go over there, we'd actually go over, and of course, the drinking age changed from 21 to 19. Had gone backwards. Actually, I'm sorry, had gone from 18 to 19 and then went to 21, but it's that influx period. We'd go across the border in Mexico, and we would go over it. We'd buy the Coronas and Cornitas. And Cornitas are the little mini Corona bottles. They were like a little half Corona bottle. And I believe at that time, they were like 2 cents a piece. The Corona itself was like a dime a piece. So we'd go over there for the 20 spot, and we'd all put 20 in. Everybody put $20 in. So we'd have, $250, whatever. We'd load up on all the Corona we could get, and we'd load it back up and bring it back across the border. And we'd take it and put it on. You've seen this in spring break, right? We all did this, or you've seen this at least in spring break videos. We had, in our condo, we had one bathroom designated as the bar room. And that's where we put all the Coronas in their bathtub and iced it down. And then you had the normal bathroom where you showered and got ready. But we would always, that was my first chance at Corona, was going across the border and getting the Coronas and Cornitas, put them in our trunk, and driving back. And they didn't stop us. They didn't, check across the border. What are you guys doing over there? They all knew we're spring breakers. Going over to Mexico to get cheap snacks, cheap beer. Come back across in South Padre Island from there in Brownsville, about 25 minutes. So from, is it Matamoros? Yeah, Matamoros is right across from Brownsville, right? Yeah, Matamoros. Go across to Matamoros and grab your beers, and they had the factories there. Now you can get Corona everywhere. But back in the 80s, you go across the border, and you got you those dime Coronas, 26 Coronas all the time. And that's how it was really going to the early 90s. You go over and you go to a pub in Mexico, and you would take $10 in, and you come back with $8 because you couldn't drink that many beers. But anyway, that's my Corona story. We're going to see Lance out there. Again, last call, my wife, where is she? Honey, where are you? I know she walked the dog, but where is she? I don't know if she's even watching, but I want her to come back here. Before we set the sun down. Again, that one mosquito is like having a good old time. I don't know where she is. Where are you, honey? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Come join us. Come join us. Come join us. She may be on the phone. I want her to come join us. All right, virtual happy hour. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday right now. And again, we do the Tecate was the same way. As a matter of fact, Lance, it's a very good point. Tecate, I believe this is correct, but it's Tecate, or was it gosh, that thing just bit the crap out of me. Tecate, what's the other Mexican beer I'm thinking of? Tecate and Dos Equis. I believe it was Tecate in a bottle. You guys remember the stubby bottles? They have those in Australia some. You can get them, the Coors Gold stubbies. A stubby bottle is a squatty bottle with it's not a long neck. It's a squatty stubby bottle. They're really big in the 70s. You can still get them a lot in Australia. Get those little stubby bottles. You thought I was talking about the virus. No. No, not the coronavirus, the Corona the beer. Sorry about that, Harold. Very good. Very, very good. This was actually around that same time. We flew, maybe 2 years later, we flew down to Mazatlan from Dallas. Spring break, we drove from Lubbock to Dallas, flew from Dallas to Mazatlan. And Carta Blanca, that's what it was. It was Carta Blanca that had the stubbies, right? That's what it was. Because Tecates were always in a bottle, long neck, or a can. Tecate had the stubby. And they had, let me just see if I can use this as an example. The bottom of the beer, now imagine it being a beer bottle, right? Not a beer can, but a beer bottle. The bottom of the beer had grooves in it, little groove marks on, and it was kind of you didn't notice it, but the stewardess would walk by and give us the, here she comes, she's going to join me right now. They'd come by and they would put your beer down. But I noticed the stewardess would, to open my beer on the plane, we were flying Mexicana Airways, she'd do this, like that. So imagine you had a stubby of Carta Blanca, and you couldn't have one without the other. It's a genius move. To get a Carta Blanca open, you had to have one more. You couldn't have just one. So you had to take 2 Carta Blancas, do this, and you open it like this. You turn it and open the top of the beer. The beer top would come off. They'd throw it in the that's how they used to be. Those Carta Blanca beers used to have a little groove in the bottom. So you'd put it on top of the other bottle, just turn it. That's how you open up the beer. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it was Pat's Blue Ribbon, Keith says. Yeah, well, PBR is hey, there was a sign in Lubbock last week, and Keith, they're like this. All the beers in the wall, what brand they had. And there was it said PBR, and it just said, PBR was like $3, and it said, you don't need a description. That's basically what it said. You're like, you don't need a description of this one. It says, whatever beer, so much hops and percentage alcohol, and it says PBR. You don't need to know. And that's basically what the case was. So Carta Blanca was it, Lance. That was it. Do you remember that, Lance? Did you ever fly Mexicana? Maybe it wasn't just flying Mexicana. It was going to a resort in Mexico back in the 80s. You would see them do the old, that's how you got the beer. It was genius. You couldn't have one beer without the other because one beer opened the other. It was genius. You didn't have a bottle opener. You just did this. It was great. It was a great novel idea, but I don't know if they still do. I need to check that out. Yeah, Carta Blanca. Yeah, good old days. Honey, where'd you come on out, GM? Mozzies are killing me. We need I didn't spray. I'm just scratching like crazy here. Mosquitoes. It's supposed to get cool. My wife will be joining me in a moment. I hope. Anyway, glad you guys are along. Trying to do a little more stuff on Friday. Mondays, basically the show works. Mondays review the weekend. Wednesday we kind of dive into randomness on Wednesday. Then we have we do the Friday beer review and whatever. Madam Morris is, yeah. See, you remember that, Lynch? Do you remember going across the border and getting those cheap? I believe the Cornitas were like 2 cents, and the Coronas were 10 cents. And you couldn't have them. You had to buy them in bulk. You buy a whole case. It was like, whatever. Come on, you gonna join me, babe, or not?
Well, I don't know. Every time I come out, you're.
Well, I was waiting for you to sit down and join us, but you were. That way you can kind of.
After 6, I just didn't know if you wanted me on.
No, I wanted you to chat. Just chat a second to see what's going on. How are you?
I'm fine.
You don't seem like you're very excited to be out here.
Well, I was just finishing laundry.
Oh, we have that dryer. Oh, the dog wants out. Come on, buddy. I'm sorry, babe. I mean, probably pop that light. The light doesn't look too bad. It looks good. It's okay. It actually looks okay. It looks good. Come on out. What is that smell that we have when there's a smell? It's a certain, what makes the dryer smell so good?
The bounce sheets.
But you can smell it. There's a warm smell. It smells good.
Because it's the smell of the dryer sheets coming out of the dryer exhaust, I guess.
How was your week?
Busy, stressful.
Busy and stressful. Did you ever go to Matamoros for spring break?
No, I did not.
Uh,
We went to like New York or Long Island or Boston or something.
yeah, Carnitas. There you go. There you go. I'll get what I said there. Did you
Peter Shane.
yes, there we go. My question is for the when we're talking about the weekend coming up, what do we got going on besides Sunday, Saturday? Anything else exciting for the weekend?
No, I just need to work on my paper.
You don't seem too excited to be out here.
No, I was doing laundry and and I kept hearing you on my phone say, "Where is she?"
Well, I didn't know where you went. I was like,
So I
where?
kept coming out here and nothing was.
No, but I was in the middle, because I'd wait and I'd tell a story. So tell us what this is something I don't know how she does it, but you're in the process right now of your graduate work. What exactly is it you're doing?
I'm finishing my coursework for my doctoral program at SMU.
No, but what I'm talking about, but not just the coursework, but what the big thing that's got you kind of focused?
I have my literature review to do, and the problem is that and this happens a lot in graduate research, is you start researching something and then you hit a dead end. And I started researching something and I hit a dead end, and so I turned another corner. And so you've spent all this time doing all this reading and researching, and then like you can't use it. You're like, never mind. And so then I turned and started researching something else, and I thought I was making ground, and then I hit a dead end again. And I had the conversation with my professor that I said I'm really frustrated because I've spent all this time and I'm not any closer to where I want to be, and I'm not really doing what I wanted to do. When I came into this program, I sort of started in one direction and went another. And he was like, well, I don't think those two directions are that far apart. And so he was helping me. He said, I need to see a philosopher. So, because I think what I'm doing is more philosophical than anything. So I'm going to try to get hooked up with a philosopher.
One more thing I was going to ask you too. Did you see that in Indiana where Sam and Stephanie are, they've gone to kind of a hybrid system? Are you worried about that for us down here?
Worried is probably not the word. I mean, no, because there's no need to worry about it because it's going to happen if it happens. It's like borrowing trouble, as they say. No, I'm not worried. But I don't want that to happen because it's just a beating to be online.
True.
It's even more exhausting to be online, and then to do your other schoolwork online. you want to throw your computer out by the end. It's just it's exhausting.
Sure.
I mean, this year's exhausting enough as it is. I mean, there's a lot of good to the year. I mean, I was telling somebody, we have this new schedule, and so we feel like we're having to plan. We have to double plan. And so that's exhausting. But at the same time, the schedule, there's a lot of really good things about the schedule. I like that I don't have my kids on the same day at the same time. And some mornings are less frenetic than others, and some afternoons are less frenetic than others. It's not the same every day, which I like. So that's good. I mean, it's like anything. When you have change, you don't like it. And I think, we're all just adjusting. But to do all that in the middle of a pandemic is just like a lot of stress on top of stress.
Let's show you guys. Hey, there's our little man right there. Hello, buddy. You see? You can't see him. He's in the dark there, I guess, isn't he?
Does he know that he's getting it? What is that?
There you go.
There's his face. Max.
Hello,
There he
sir.
is.
Yeah, he's going to get going to the doggy barber shop tomorrow. Boy,
Doggy
he'll
spa.
be really happy about that.
He does not like that.
Be really happy about that. But yeah, all good. So we made it. So we're to Friday. But I was going to ask you too. The cotton court time. I had to show the video. The video wouldn't load because it's too large. But do you think that place was pretty rocking, pretty cool?
Yeah, it was really cool. I like you talked about the graduate. It reminded me a lot of that. Yeah, it was really, really cute. I liked the West Texas theme. Apparently there's a lot of buzz about it in Lubbock as being a great place to go. So,
A lot of buzz.
but yeah, the girls were happy to come meet us. I mean, so that was nice.
Yeah, a lot of buzz. Food was good. And I guess mentioned, I'd never been to it. I thought I walked down the next day, and I was going to tell, didn't even finish telling the story. I walked down the next day to get a cup of coffee, and the kitchen or the restaurant was open. I grabbed a cup, and gentleman was standing there, and he was the executive chef, had his name on there or whatever. Mike was his name, and started talking, and it turns out, that was their first night, and their first night they opened late.
Sure.
And we thought it was kind of that they were just open late because their computer was down. It was their first night open late. It was and the food was good. The servers knew what they were doing. They knew the dishes. All the dishes were good. And I thought that was pretty. I thought it was pretty well. I mean, usually, I think there's no way it's the first night, but it was the first night. It was daggum
There were
good.
not
So.
a lot of glitches, so that was
No,
good.
it was pretty
Yeah,
cool. I
well
told the guy anyway. All right, well, I guess it's time for us to go eat dinner then, right?
I guess.
All righty, folks. Monday, we'll review the weekend. Probably be diving into sport of some sort and some sorts, if you will. And
Take your beer.
thank you very much. Yes, this one is empty as well. But yeah, it was very. Do you like my little idea? I got the six pack. Yeah, I do want to go to Martin Brewery in person though. But anyway, much love to you guys. Thanks for joining me wherever you are. You're watching this on replay. Glad you stopped by. If you really want to talk, want to learn about Australian baseball. Yes, there's Winter Baseball in Australia, Talking Baseball Australia Live. It's on the Facebook page, Talking Baseball Australia. And you can see Paul Morgan and I as we were on Friday morning in Australia, Thursday night over here last night, about 24 hours ago. Feel free to check that out and all the other things as well. Of course, we'll be ramping up the broadcast. You can cook. I've actually got a couple of scripts ready for that. We'll be ramping up the cooking channel again, so looking forward to that. Trying to do some things to keep us all blowing and going. Again, much love. Love you guys. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Let's keep fighting on. Let's get through 2020. It's November already. We're already a week into November. Tomorrow's November 7th. Ain't that crazy? All right, love you guys. Much love. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then. Let's roll the close in 3, 2, 1.